And we are live for the yard work. No, is it yard work? Is it yard prep? I don't know. It's the 5 Reasons Sports Miami Dolphins postgame show. And you know what, man? I am too happy to even care about botching names or trying to figure out how to say the San Francisco 49ers fullback's last name or anything like that. I didn't even try to spell it today. I don't care. Awesome.
You can't say use check?
Would you care to try to spell it, Kai?
Spell it, no, but I can say
spell it. Spell it. I dare you to spell it.
J-U-Z. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, but anyway, awesome win by the Miami Dolphins. 43-17 over the San Francisco 49ers. The former NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. I have to emphasize that because people are gonna point to, oh, they were banged up. Oh, they were weakened. Oh, they lost this guy. They lost this guy. Listen. Nobody gives the Dolphins any excuses when they have injuries. Nobody gives Miami any excuses when something goes wrong for them. So I'm not going to give San Francisco any excuses either. They got beat down. And you know what? Yeah. I am here for it. And this has been one of the most fun games that I have watched in a very long time. And we're going to have to do it. Kudos to Mr. Ryan Fitzpatrick. That man had himself a ball. And you know what? The rest of the team did too. So, and now we have Michael Wallace joining us. So since you just popped on in here, dude, I'm going to put you on the spot. So what are your initial thoughts?
Man, I mean, I think the first thing that we got to talk about is the fact that, that we got to stop with the Tua talk. Like it's just God. We got to put it to rest. We have to
right off the bat, just making trouble. Don't talk about Tua. Don't talk about
right off the bat.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying it now, and we're not talking about it the rest of the show. I think to me, Fitzpatrick deserves all the credit from this game. He played out of this world, and I know Kai said it. I'm pretty sure you said it too, Lewis. We all thought Fitzpatrick's arm was dead, and he had nothing left in it because he hadn't completed anything down the field, and he opens the game with the first throw. I think the first throw was maybe 25 yards downfield, 25, 30.
Yeah.
He completes a couple more to Preston Williams down the field. He hits Parker on the deep touchdown. Fitzpatrick looked great. We're going to have up and down games from him the rest of the season, but I say we ride out Fitzpatrick as long as we can.
That first play was a 35-yard through the air, but it went for 47 to Preston Williams.
Which I didn't think he could still make that throw. I thought, it would take way too much time.
Not at all. I gotta say, I think I was definitely shut up today.
We all were.
I'm not saying that I was rooting. Yeah, I'm not saying I was rooting for us. I thought we were gonna lose. I'm not saying I was rooting for us to lose or anything, but I think we all thought, all right, Jimmy Garoppolo is coming back, even though he's not 100%. You're gonna get someone to steer the ship. It'll be better for the 49ers. They are a better team talent-wise, even with all the injuries, but they just did exactly what you were supposed to do going into the game. Attack the DBs. Don't let the linebackers control the game at all for the 49ers and just continue attack, and force guys like Ahkello Witherspoon to get on the field after coming back from an injury. They just did everything right, which makes me fearful that we were going to lose to the Jets next week. But that's something that we can discuss.
Listen, if we can beat the 49ers like this, I am expecting that to actually get that 50 when the Jets show up. But
you get what I mean. You guys get what I mean, man.
I get what you mean, but you know what? This is gonna be so much fun. I can just smell it now. There's blood in the water, boys.
The Jets game is in Miami next week, right?
Yeah.
There is blood in the water. I am so excited. There's so many good things to talk about today. I don't even know where to start. Okay, here. How about this one? Robert Hunt.
Yes, I was gonna bring that up too. Yep.
Yes. Oh my goodness, Robert Hunt. There was a highlight going around on Twitter. He just absolutely mauled some of those defenders today at right tackle. And you know what? This is exactly what we were hoping for when we drafted him. This is like everything. It feels like everything seems to be going the Dolphins' way when it comes to this offensive line. Solomon Kinley looking solid. Austin Jackson, yes, he got injured, but you know what? When he has been on the field, solid. Robert Hunt so far, solid. Now, to be fair, he didn't really face massive Nick Bosa type pressure, but so far, not a bad start for Robert Hunt. And I would love to see him get back out there next week, even if Austin Jackson does somehow get back. I want to see him become the right tackle of the future. Him and Kinley together would be an awesome duo from what I can tell so far. Let them continue to develop, and Jesse Davis can be exactly what it is I wanted him to be all along, the Sam Young veteran, the swing tackle who can also play guard if you need him to, the guy who can do whatever you need him to. That's what I want Jesse Davis to be, because that's an upgrade right off the bat on guys like Sam Young and guys we've had in the past. So give credit to Robert Hunt, give credit to a lot of those young guys, because they're doing some fantastic work so far. And this is proof positive that the development angle that the Dolphins are taking is going to work. It is working. We're watching it work. Again, I bring this up because it's important. Regardless of how much talent they lost to injury or whatever reason, the San Francisco 49ers were still the NFC champions last year. That matters. That's a big deal. So you can take away some of their top D linemen. You can take away Garoppolo for half a game, but Garoppolo didn't, even when he was out there, he didn't look very good. I know, high ankle sprain and all that, but it wasn't because of the injury. I don't think that Garoppolo wasn't doing well. Not really. It was the Dolphins were putting pressure on him. They were getting in his face. They were all over the guy. Garoppolo was not even able to breathe all that well. And let me tell you something. Here's another one. Here's another name we got to bring up. Andrew Van Ginkel.
Yep.
Andrew Van Ginkel, guys. He's tipping passes at the Emmanuel Ogba. Tipping passes to the line of scrimmage. Van Ginkel made it possible for Howard to get that interception. It was a thing of beauty all the way around. Seriously, the only thing that I could really, if I really tried hard enough to nitpick, would be that would. What is it?
I feel like you're gonna say cornerback stuff. That's why I feel like you're gonna say
penalties.
Needham specifically.
No, but actually I wasn't going to go there because as far as I'm concerned, those penalties were so ticky-tack that I don't even want to talk about it, except for that one where Needham threw the guy to the ground. That one I'm not even going to try to defend. Yeah, that was pathetic. No, but that's not what I was going to do. The only thing I was really going to nitpick was that the run defense is still a little But then again, they are going against Raheem Mostert, and the dude runs really hard. So I'm not gonna
50%. Like,
oh yeah, like it wasn't supposed to be an easy game. A lot of us thought the Dolphins were going to lose. I actually did pick this one for the Dolphins to win. So yeah, I was right about that. But it was a lot less close than I thought it was going to be. Can you see the joy on my face, guys? Can you see how happy I am to be able to talk about a win like this? Not even like the Jaguars game where it's like, well, we can kind of see that this one went wrong, but they managed to pull it out. There was no pulling it out with this one. This was just a brutal beat down that I am going to be thinking about for the rest of the week. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm just the way that they played, man. I literally was sitting here watching it, and I'm just like, okay, wow, we got the first drive, that was great. Then the long pass goes to Preston Williams, and I was just like, okay, well, damn, it looks like Ryan Fitzpatrick might have his arm this week. And then boom, 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 and I was just like, all right, cool, we have a 7-point lead. And then they go first of all, Kyle Shanahan, I have no idea why he went for that fourth down on that second drive. I just didn't make any sense to me, to be honest. Then boom, touchdown again, and I was like, all right, this game's over. It's just after that happened, I was like, this game's over, because Garoppolo wasn't looking good. You went for a fourth down on your second drive that didn't really make any sense. I was like, the game's over. The Dolphins are gonna win. But then to continue the onslaught, I was stunned. Like, absolutely stunned.
Oh yeah, and usually they take the foot off the gas and the other team catches up. None of that today. Also, let's say this. The difference in getting Byron Jones back, the difference that made, holy smokes.
Massive.
Absolutely.
Even in times where Nick Needham played bad, he had those moments where he was able to at least play a little bit better this week in certain situations, because he wasn't just sticking on the boundary. Being able to be at nickel helped him way more than what he's been doing the past few weeks.
Well, and Eric Rowe's coverage on George Kittle, I thought was really, really good most of the day. Like, you're talking about George Kittle is what, the top 2 tight end right now in the NFL. And
some people are saying he's the best, period.
Yeah. So but the thing is, at worst, he's the second best tight end in the NFL, which is amazing to say. And Eric Rowe, everybody's been calling him a tight end specialist ever since we switched him last season. And against really high caliber talent, he did it, and he did it really well. So that makes me excited moving forward, because we've had problems with tight ends for the longest time.
Oh yeah, it feels like a decade now.
Granted, I think a lot of that was we play Rob Gronkowski twice a year, and Tom Brady, who could abuse us with anybody at tight end, including any one of us three, it felt like.
Yeah.
But it feels like they finally figured it out with Eric Rowe, and that feels great to say, like, hey, we're facing a great tight end. I'm confident Eric Rowe can keep him to 3 catches, 25, 28 yards, and we're good,
So let's bring this up then. So they did all this against a beat-up 49ers. They'll probably do it again against the Jets. What needs to improve for them to be able to do stuff against, like, more top-tier talent, in your opinion?
You want me to go first, Michael? You want to go first?
Mine will be short, so I'll just get it out of the way real quick. I think you pointed it out. The run defense has to.
Yeah, you took mine as well, so you might as well just elaborate, man.
I'll give 1 point and then you give another one. But like my number one thing is, if you can't stop their run game, right, when they've got a quarterback that's healthier, right? If you look at Garoppolo, we can all say he probably didn't look that great. Or a quarterback more talented than C.J. Beathard, they're going to use some play action on you that's going to abuse you pretty good because you have to commit so much to stop the run. So when you're facing a team that has their full offense, right, good quarterback, good running back, we've really got to work on stopping the run game. I don't know if you have anything else to add to that, Kai.
It is what it is. You got to stop the run.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like we were talking about earlier for the college football, I guess, weekly roundup. And the one thing that we were mentioning with the Gators is, like, if they just suck on third down, the defense can't get off the field on third down. The Dolphins, the defense is struggling, but it's not third down. It's stopping the freaking run. And it's just eventually I feel like it'll get there. But right now it's just they have to learn how to stop it. You're not going to have a problem against the Jets. Adam Gase doesn't know what running the football is. So you're not going to have an issue there. I mean, the dude's got talented running backs on his team and can't even get them in the right position.
Le'Veon Bell going to waste with the Jets. Seriously. I wonder if the Dolphins, like, when does Bell's contract end? Just curious.
That's my thing, though. Would Bell even is Gaskin working here because Gaskin is just better than we all thought, or is that a product of most of our running backs could run through those holes?
I'm gonna say that it's Gaskin because there have been a lot of times where the run blocking has been suspect. Seriously.
Yeah, every time Jordan Howard touches the ball, sure.
No. Even today, it's like there were a lot of times where guys got stuffed, guys let guys run in smoothly, and Gaskin would have to sidestep a guy before he can get moving. Has nothing to do with the blocking. If Gaskin has to dodge a defender in the backfield, that's Gaskin. So I'm not gonna take that credit away from him.
Well, and today too,
Jordan Howard get cut.
Oh yeah, he's in cut territory now.
They're not going to cut him now because they can cut him next year and there's no penalty for them. So I'll let him sit. They'll let him sit there. They'll just let him sit there.
Yeah, I mean, and you can keep him just in case of injuries. But I think, who was it? I think it was Barry Jackson was saying that the Dolphins are really liking that Salvin Ahmed guy, the one that they just pulled up from the practice.
Yeah, Salvon Ahmed. Yes.
I don't know. I don't know much about him, but
I have to look him up. I've heard his name before. I think he's been with Miami here now and then, but it's been before this, but I need to look him up and see what he's all about. But I wouldn't be upset.
I was gonna say, sorry, talking about that comment, me and that game-changing back. I think a lot of fans saw that game-changing back last night because
I know you're not talking about after the UF game. You bet. Hey,
Travis Etienne, bro.
Don't come after the Hurricanes, all right? Y'all lost to a low-ranked team. Let's get back to the Dolphins.
No, I'm just saying, fans.
Michael, you don't even want to touch that one.
You don't want to go there, Michael.
Don't even
go that we put earlier today.
Let's just get back to the Dolphins.
I won't mute you if you do that.
No, I was gonna say, fans saw Travis Etienne last night, and I come on, you have to absolutely go for him in the draft.
Can we go back to Dolphins, please? Thank you.
That's what we're doing. Exactly. Travis Etienne, right there. You want that running back, that game-changing running back? Draft him
with that first-round pick. Do you think the holes on this team or the lack of running back is that big that you take a first-round pick? Because I think we have bigger needs than running back.
I don't think he goes in the first round, to be honest with you.
I think he does.
Well, let's be clear about this. We all thought that there was going to be let's use last year. Let's use last year as a result. Let's use last year as a result. As an example, rather. We thought DeAndre Swift, we thought that Jonathan Taylor, what was the other guy's name? I can't remember.
There's a few of them.
No, I can't. There was one more guy, one consensus guy. We thought he was going to be a first rounder for sure. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Dobbins?
Yes, J.K. Dobbins. Yes. So him, all three of them were supposed to be first round picks. And the only running back that got selected in the first round turned out to be Clyde Edwards-Helaire to Kansas City, the very last pick in the first round. So
and no one thought he was going to be the first round pick of all the running backs.
And to be fair, it is very possible that Travis Etienne could be available in the second round. And if that is the case, then I would jump all over that just to try to get that going. Right. But now, if I'm the Miami Dolphins, and this is something that I was saying, because I was talking about, can we grab Fred Warner or something? I want that linebacker. I think a linebacker like Micah Parsons, this is really what we need right now. We need a linebacker like a Micah Parsons who can really be that true sideline to sideline guy. Let Jerome Baker do a little more like free roaming sort of thing.
Because he blitzed.
He blitzes really well.
Every time Baker blitzes, he's there on the ball.
There.
Yes. So great.
Super quick.
Yeah.
So if we can get our hands on like a Micah Parsons, that would be awesome. Mm-hmm. If we can get our hands on a speedy wide receiver who's, as much as I love Jakeem Grant, man, we need somebody who's taller than 5'6". We do. Yeah. We with it, and he needs to have hands.
Yeah.
He needs to have hands. Jakeem Grant, oh my God. I love the guy to death, but seriously, there are some things that you can't excuse. Like the ball sailing over his head, fine. He's short. I get it. The ball hitting him in the hands and he still can't grab it? Mm-mm.
Well, and I'll never get over that one catch he had against, I think it was the Patriots, where he jumped up over, Malcolm Butler, I think. Grant, I think it was maybe 2-3 years ago. He had a beautiful catch. He jumped up, caught it over Malcolm Butler. I'm like, whoa, Jakeem Grant with some hops. Maybe we got something different. And he never did it again.
No.
Ever.
Just for clarification, Le'Veon Bell can be cut after this season, and the Jets will be scot-free of anything. They'll only have $4 million in dead cap with $28 million left on his deal.
Let the wheels turn, gentlemen. Yeah. Let the wheels turn.
I think we can all assume that is probably going to happen. He'll be.
But do we have the money for him?
I don't think that he'd be able to command money after the past 2 years, even though it's a product of Adam Gase.
Well, he'll be looking for a Derrick Henry contract, no, for sure. But there's no way that
coming into next season.
And he's not going to have a Frank Gore career.
Yeah, I doubt it. But it's just something to think about, for the future. Yeah. So now the other thing that I want to bring up is the Dolphins' game plan that they had, guys. It fit perfectly with what we wanted to see them do. How many times have we seen the Dolphins get picked on at the weak points? How many times have we seen the Dolphins get brutalized because there was one weak link in the chain? And the Dolphins did that today in spades. Poor Brian Allen. He's not going to live this down for a really long time. He got
the Nick Needham treatment from last year.
And the Noah Igbenogany treatment from earlier this year. Seriously.
That's Yep.
But the difference between Allen and Igbenogany is that the 49ers are supposed to be the coming off the NFC champs. Igbenogany can afford to be bad right now because, again, this season's not about the winning aspect of it. So every win that we get is just icing on that cake, man, because the Tua cake is coming. It's still being baked. Just don't want to eat it early. Yeah. Now,
I thought we were going to get him for the last one or two drives at least. And
I thought the last drive we might have seen him, but I think that they don't want to do that.
You know how much the ratings would increase if he came in literally just to kneel, which is insane.
I just think that I don't think they want to do that. Imagine he comes out there and somehow he leads.
Some 49er gets grouchy and decides to do something dirty. Yeah.
I think. Listen, man. We all want to see Tua. Of course, this week we probably thought, all right, Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to have an absolute stinker of a game, and then Tua will come in against the Broncos. I even thought once the schedule changes were made, and I know we'll get into that a little bit before the heat tip off, but I thought once that was made, I was like, all right, if Ryan Fitzpatrick sucks today against the Jets next week, oh yeah, throw Tua out there. Are you freaking kidding me? Then those first two drives happened, and I was like, yep, all right, we're not seeing Tua until who even knows?
Yeah.
So let's actually talk about that. So the schedule changes, I did read about them. I didn't really get a chance to look at them in detail because I was getting ready to do the live tweeting and stuff. So I didn't get to
make it simple.
So
cryptic thing.
Next week, the Dolphins will play the Jets at Hard Rock. Kickoff at 4:05. We're on the East Coast. Doesn't really make any sense to me, but that's fine. Then after that, they'll have their bye. Then they'll have the Rams at home. Then they'll have the Cardinals away. And then the Chargers will be after that Cardinals game. And the Broncos will follow that one. All of the changes are now 4:05 starts. So the Chargers one at home is now 4:05. The Broncos away is a 4:05, and next week against the Jets at home is also 4:05. Besides that, everything is the same.
If we get to those weeks, honestly,
we will.
We'll get to the.
All I'm gonna say is 30
teams
teams are doing fine and 2 aren't.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say, man. But I mean, look, you could be 3-3, but by the time we're all talking this time next week, I think we all assume the Dolphins are going to be 3-3. It'll start we now expect a playoff push from certain fans, but like, I don't. It'll be a nice feeling. Then you go into a bye. I'm kind of
get yourself rested and recovered.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy with it. I can't lie. I'm
fine with it. The way that everything is going right now, again, this is what I was saying earlier. Everything seems to be falling the Dolphins' way, whether people realize it or not. Now they get a chance to, after they get to come off a big win against the Jets, we assume, because again, nobody assumes that they're going to lose to the Jets. So now, of course, this does mean that Trevor Lawrence is like a shoo-in to land in New York. So, listen, do you think Gase will still be the head coach? Because it looks like he's going to stick.
He can't.
No, if he's still the head coach, then Trevor Lawrence is going to get ruined. But
yeah,
if he's not, then I just God, that would suck.
If I'm the Jets, I try to get Noah Sweeney.
Hold on though. How much faith do you have in Tua, Kai? Do you think he can beat Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, I'll say it. I'll say it. Yes.
There you go. So what's the issue? What's the issue, Ben? What's the issue then, gentlemen?
Hold on. But that's what it comes down to. At that point, I think the NFL, a little less so than college, you need the full team. Like you need to have all the other pieces working, because Trevor Lawrence can get hit by some of those linemen in college and survive and be okay.
We saw it today with Burrow.
Yeah, Burrow was getting smacked. That was hard to watch, honestly. I don't know if Lawrence is going to have – like, Lawrence is going to be great, but I'm not ready to say, oh, when Lawrence comes in, it's over. Every team that faces him, it's done. I'm not ready to say that about Lawrence.
It won't be over, but like a few years, unless the Jets ruin him like the Jets do with everything else, then there's the potential. But, like, God, that would suck over years, because, like, it would be entertaining to watch. Like, it'd be great. But, like, I just don't want the Jets to be successful at all. I just want them to be bottom dwellers for the rest of my lifetime and just watch Jets fans be upset.
Tua will make them bottom dwellers. We'll be fine.
Yeah, essentially. And Josh Allen, apparently. This dude's killing it.
They are going to start marketing up the AFC East something fierce. They are setting things up for, like, they're talking about Josh Allen's potential MVP. The Jets get Trevor Lawrence. Tua finally comes into the game. And as for the Patriots... What about the Patriots?
It's not looking great right now.
What about the Patriots? Who cares?
Quick thing, guys, on that Dolphins New York game next week. It is the only slated CBS game in the afternoon. So
that's going to be nationally televised.
It seems like it will be nationally on CBS. I don't know how many games Fox has in the afternoon, but at least for CBS, Dolphins Jets is the only game at 4:00.
The Jets keep, the rest of the so many people have to keep watching the Jets, right? They were on Thursday Night Football. Like, they're so bad.
Oh, man.
Look, I will say, the one thing this game did, right, with such a statement win in an away game against a 49ers team that, yes, is facing injuries, but is well coached and still has good players. I think the only thing that this did was increase the expectations for next week against the Jets. And if we win that game, but it's close, it'll feel really bad. Whereas if this game had been closer, we had lost this game, I don't think we would have felt the same way about a close win over the Jets, if that makes sense.
Have the Jets been close to have the Jets been close to anyone this year yet?
Come on, guys. We know
Manny, there's no
the Dolphins. It's the Dolphins curse, man. It's the Miami curse.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to put that negative energy into the air. Can't do it.
Well, and I love Fitz, but Fitz can just have an off week. Like, we've seen it before.
Yeah, no, I mean, we can't let this win make us get into the delusional side of things.
Right.
Like, this game was great. Fitz had a great game, but that's still, yes, his arm held up for this game, but we cannot still deny that, like, we've seen he's going to keep having games like this. It's the same thing as last year. Like, where he'll have those big games, but come on.
Do you think he makes it to the end of the season healthy? Because personally, the way he dives and the way he gets hit, I don't know, man.
I mean, he survived last year.
Listen, I thought week 13 Tua Burrow was gonna be it. I still think week 13 Tua Burrow. I'm not gonna go off of it.
That'd be a heck of a game
by then. But the Dolphins are coming at so we can. I know the Heat game's gonna start pretty soon. The Dolphins coming into this, so even with those schedule changes, you get an easy game against the Jets next week. You should win that. You go into the bye week 3-3. The Rams, they haven't looked.
They're not going to be easy. Aaron Donald is going to be.
They're not going to be easy.
Brutal.
Aaron Donald is. I mean, we don't even have to get into how good Aaron Donald is.
He lines up anywhere inside, right? Like Aaron Donald isn't just on one side of the interior, so he'll go up against.
He'll go nose, he'll go left, defensive end, right defensive end.
So he'll face all of our interior guys. I'm excited
because of Michael Brockers, who's also almost his size, not as good, but he also commands the double team.
Yeah,
and they also run a 3-4 that can show different schemes.
Man, he's not disappearing. Just stick around, man.
Yeah,
so
why not?
It's like you're just throwing everything off. It's like, come in, you're part of the group.
But you go into that Rams game. I think obviously you think that you have a potential to win. The Rams have been winning, but I don't think they've been winning pretty.
I don't like the way the Dolphins match up against that Rams offense right now.
It's the Aaron Donald is the only thing in the world that scares me.
No, but I expect competitive.
The
one game we've had this year where we weren't competitive was the Patriots game at the beginning of the season, and even then it was only not competitive later because we couldn't stop the running at all. But we were competitive against the Bills, against the Seahawks. You know, like those are really exactly. Those are really good teams. If it's not competitive against the Rams, then there's something that went wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying we should win, but we should be in the game.
Yeah, and then you go against the Cardinals. The Cardinals look like frauds right now. The Chargers, that'll be an interesting game. Broncos, if Drew Lock is back, it'll be a little bit interesting. Then back against the Jets, and then week 13, Tua Burrow.
Oh.
It's just like
whoa. It's like we've had this conversation so many times already.
Tua Burrow week 13. When he was drafted, all I said was I want to be able to go to that game and watch Tua play against Burrow.
Listen,
I will buy a ticket and I will be there.
If Tua plays Austin Jackson, and I do agree with Lewis when he mentioned this in pregame, Austin Jackson needs to be back.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure by then he'll be back. I'm sure by then.
I'm not going to put my franchise quarterback out there if all the 5 guys that I know are not out there to protect them to their full, capacity. I'm not going to freaking risk it.
No, yeah, exactly.
Because today we saw, dude, like it's very unfortunate. You know, Dak Prescott. You know,
yeah, we have to mention that
got injured, and it happens to quarterbacks. What if that happens to Fitz all of a sudden? We know how Fitz doesn't care how many guys.
Negative energy in the air, man.
If Ryan Fitzpatrick needs 10 yards for a first down, he's going to run 100 miles an hour to get those 10 yards. It could happen.
Negative energy in the air.
Yeah, that Prescott injury was.
You know, now they have Andy Dalton. Is their team now gonna be able to keep doing what they're doing on offense? Probably not. Probably have to rely on passing, on running the ball more. But if you're a Dolphins fan, that's
actually better for Dallas, for the record.
Yeah, true. But hear me out though. There's no rush for this to put in Tua at all. Let your wide receivers get established. Keep working on the tight ends with Gesicki and company. Work on that young offensive line. Then you bring in Tua and you mold him in right. You just don't put him in just because you want to see what he does right now. There's no point of that.
Yeah,
but of course, me and Lewis will get bashed right now on the comments or tomorrow. Oh, you guys don't want to win games. You guys don't want to.
No, they can't do that today. They can't do that today, Manny. They can't do that today.
Anyways, but it's like,
it won't happen today. Don't put that. We don't need that. We don't need this negative energy. You know,
right?
We need to ride this positive energy out into Game 6. Jimmy Butler drops 45 points on LeBron James' head, brings us into Game 7. All right. Let's get some positive energy in here, okay?
You sound like a Dolphins fan expecting a 50 burger next week against the Jets with that, dude.
Fucking Adam Gase is gonna get his first W.
Don't put that in there. Don't.
We're gonna get ready to close this out, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I'm gonna go ahead and say this.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I'll close out with this. This is exactly what we need to look for from the Dolphins. The improvement. They have improved. This is exactly what we've been looking for. Week to week improvement all around the board. Austin Jackson, Solomon Kinley. Now we've seen Robert Hunt. Eric Flowers is doing pretty darn good at guard, so I'm happy with that. I wouldn't mind keeping him around for a while if he's going to keep playing like this. Yep. And maybe we can move on from Ted Karras. After a while, we can improve at center. That would be awesome too. There's so much potential for this team going into the future, and this is just the tip of the iceberg for what the Dolphins are going to be able to do. Mm-hmm. Then the AFC East is going to be so much fun for the next decade or so.
We're not going to be the laughingstocks of the NFL, and
no,
it's silly, right? It's just Madden. It's just little numbers punched in by some random analysis people, maybe. But it's funny because from the start of the season to now, right, I've been following some of those young Dolphins players and seeing how they do in Madden ratings.
No, they're awful still. It's crazy. Awful, but Solomon Kinley's still what? Like he's still underneath the 70 range.
Oh, yeah. Kinley's a 64, but Kinley started the year to 60. Austin Jackson moved up a point, too. What's his name? Gaskin moved up 4 points. It's not big. But
it's significant, though, because
for Madden, it's a big change. And
because Madden has lowered those ratings a lot. Yep. Like they dropped those, like their new system. Madden's stupid anyways, but the way that they want to do it now is that they want to have players.
I want 2K. I want 2K NFL.
Oh well, 2K NFL is pretty good, but 2K basketball sucks.
Do they have a monopoly on it?
Yeah, they do.
Do they have a monopoly on it?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. I just think you're so right. This season is not about us winning games necessarily. Right? It's not about making it to the playoffs. It's about, one, looking competitive, and two, making sure that those young guys that are playing look better week to week. And the only player that I can say we haven't necessarily seen that from so much is Noah Benogany. But I think them giving him a rest this week, right, kind of saying, sit back, watch, we put a lot on your plate. He's absolutely going to get better, and I don't doubt that.
That was how it was supposed to be. Byron Jones getting hurt threw off the whole development plan with him.
Yep.
So that's all. I think that's all we're going to do now. For all the people who went on prizepicks.com and put up Ryan Fitzpatrick passer rating over, you guys have won big time. Use the promo code 5, get a matching on your deposit. Awesome stuff. And you can, if these Dolphins keep playing like the way they are now, then guess what? You guys are going to win big. I wonder if they're going to be underdogs with the Jets too. Are they going to pick them to be underdogs with the Jets?
You can't after this.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Remember, these are the Dolphins. These are the Dolphins. The NFL doesn't like them.
You can't.
The NFL doesn't like them.
They don't have a single receiver that people can name, it feels like. What, Chris Hogan? They've got 7-11 and Braxton Berrios at wide receivers. And I love Berrios being a UM guy, but come on. If Howard and Jones can't lock that up, ugh.
All right. So thank you, Michael. Thank you, Kai, and thank you, Manny, in the background for joining us. And all of you who are watching our Miami Dolphins post-game show, we will see you next week for more Dolphins pre-game action. It's going to be a lot of fun this season. Don't let this season fool you. This may not be the winning season,